Horoscope reading principles, Cancer rising, 1. Natural benefics enhance the house they occupy or aspect. For Cancer rising, Venus in the 11th house, Taurus, its own sign, strongly enhances gains, social networks, and fulfillment of desires. Since Venus rules both the 4th and 11th houses, it supports both inner comfort and outer achievements. When placed here, it not only uplifts the 11th house's material fruits, but also aspects the 5th house, Scorpio, subtly benefiting children and creative output. 2. Natural benefics uplift planets they conjoin or aspect. If Jupiter is in the 9th house, Pisces, its own sign and trinal house, and aspects Moon in the 1st, Cancer, this forms a strong Gaja Kesari yoga. The native gains emotional intelligence, maternal protection, and intuitive guidance. Jupiter's dharmic grace stabilizes the Moon, helping the native radiate compassion and wisdom, ideal for healers, counselors, or spiritual teachers. 3. Natural malefics intensify undesirable indications in houses they occupy or aspect, unless they own the house. Mars in the 8th house, Aquarius, can intensify sudden shocks, secrets, or conflicts in marital intimacy. Though Mars rules the 5th and 10th for Cancer rising, both trinal and angular, it is still a natural malefic and may cause inner restlessness or karmic entanglements unless it receives an aspect from benefics like Jupiter from the 12th or Mercury from the 2nd. 4. Natural malefics afflict planets they conjoin or aspect. Saturn in the 7th house, Capricorn its own sign, aspecting Venus in the 11th, may lead to delays in relationships, rigid social circles, or tension in achieving pleasures. Even though Saturn owns the house it's in, it may cool Venus's warmth and cause the native to experience emotionally distant partnerships or friendships rooted more in duty than affection, unless Jupiter from the 3rd aspects both. 5. Natural significators increase results of their houses when aspecting them, but show exceptions. Mars in the 3rd house, Virgo, gives courage but may cause aggression or disputes with younger siblings. As Mars is a natural karaka of the 3rd, its placement can overheat this house, especially if afflicted. Waning Moon in the 4th house, Libra, can weaken connection with the mother or emotional peace, even if Venus, the 4th lord, is strong elsewhere. Jupiter in the 5th house, Scorpio, although beneficial for education and children, may lead to overprotection or ideological clashes in parenthood. Venus in the 7th house, Capricorn, may bring transactional or status-based relationships that lack emotional depth, especially if Venus is combust or afflicted by Saturn. Sun in the 9th house, Pisces, may give authority issues with father or spiritual guides if the Sun is weak or placed in Uttarabhadrapada, which Saturn also co-rules. Jupiter in the 11th house, Taurus, while supporting idealistic gains, may cause unmet expectations or philosophical disagreements with elder siblings, especially if Venus, 11th lord, is weak. These exceptions illustrate how even benefics like Jupiter or Venus, when placed as natural significators in their associated houses, can produce mixed results for Cancer rising if not supported by dignity, aspects, or sign placement. For example, Venus in the 7th in Dhanishta may bring glamorous yet unstable partnerships, while the same Venus in Shravana may lead to stable alliances rooted in shared tradition. Interpreting Cancer ascendants requires sensitivity to the emotional core of the chart and careful evaluation of Moon's strength and the interplay between the benefics and functional malefics like Saturn or Mars. Horoscope reading principles, Scorpio rising. 1. Natural benefics enhance the house they occupy or aspect. For Scorpio rising, Jupiter in the 5th house, Pisces, its own and exalted sign, powerfully enhances creativity, children, education, and spiritual merit. It aspects the 9th, Cancer, 11th, and 1st Scorpio houses, uplifting fortune, social gains, and personality. Despite Jupiter's mixed functional nature, ruling the 2nd and 5th, its position here creates a Dharma-Artha-Kama trine, especially potent when supported by Moon or Venus placements in Kendra houses. 2. Natural benefics uplift planets they conjoin or aspect. Venus in the 7th house, Taurus, its own sign, receiving an aspect from Jupiter in the 11th, Virgo, strengthens love, marriage, and harmony in partnerships. Though Jupiter rules the 2nd and 5th, and Venus rules the 7th and 12th, both maraca houses. This benefic interplay neutralizes harshness and makes the native deeply committed in relationships, drawing supportive, artistic, or well-resourced partners. 3. Natural malefics increase undesirable results in the houses they occupy or aspect, unless they own the house. Saturn in the 4th house, Aquarius, although a yoga karaka ruling 3rd and 4th for Scorpio rising, may still create emotional distancing, delays in property, or strain with the mother. Its aspect on the 6th and 10th can bring professional resilience, but also chronic health burdens. These effects are softened when Jupiter or Venus conjoin or aspect Saturn, especially if Saturn is placed in its own nakshatra, Shatabisha. 4. Natural malefics afflict planets they conjoin or aspect. Mars in the 8th house, Gemini. The Lagna and 6th lord, when aspecting Moon in the 2nd, Sagittarius, can produce aggressive speech, emotional volatility, or tension with family due to bluntness or impulsive communication. Despite being the Lagna lord, Mars in Adushtana can activate sudden transformations. These challenges are managed when Moon is waxing, or Jupiter aspects the 2nd house from the 6th or 10th. 5. Natural significators show strength when occupying or aspecting their associated house types, but with key exceptions. Mars in the 3rd house, Capricorn, exalted, enhances courage, competitiveness, and initiative, but may cause friction with siblings or make the native overly assertive. Waning Moon in the 4th house, Aquarius, may weaken emotional grounding and maternal comfort, especially without benefic aspects. Jupiter in the 5th house, Pisces, grants intelligence and ethical children, but may bring excessive idealism in romantic or educational settings, especially if Venus is weak. Venus in the 7th house, Taurus, while elegant and affectionate, can be overly indulgent or bring romantic entitlement if not balanced by Saturn or Mars. Sun in the 9th house, Cancer, may challenge fatherly authority or create ego battles with mentors, especially if combusting Mercury. Jupiter in the 11th house, Virgo, ruling the 2nd and 5th, may give philosophical ideals about wealth that can restrict practical gains unless supported by functional benefics like Mercury in the 10th or Venus in the 7th. In Scorpio rising charts, Mars must always be evaluated with care. As both the ascendant and Adushtana, 6th lord, it brings intensity and confrontation. Jupiter, while a natural benefic, becomes a functional malefic due to its rulership of the 2nd, Maraca, and 5th Trikona. Venus governs both the 7th and 12th, making it a mixed influence but critical in relationships and spiritual surrender. A well-placed Saturn, especially in its own sign, can bring remarkable discipline, especially when channeling 3rd or 4th house energies. The emotional tone is determined largely by the Moon's placement, whose waxing-waning nature is decisive in shaping the psychological depth of the Scorpio native. Horoscope reading principles, Pisces rising. 1. Natural benefics the house they occupy or aspect. For Pisces rising, Jupiter in the 1st house Pisces, its own Mula Trikona sign, forms Hamsa Yoga, blessing the native with integrity, wisdom, and a spiritually guided life path. It aspects the 5th, Cancer, 7th, Virgo, and 9th Scorpio houses, creating a profound Dharma-Karma-Moksha trinal synergy, supporting idealistic love, expansive intelligence, and moral compass in relationships. This is one of the most graceful benefic configurations for Pisces ascendants. Number 2. Natural benefics uplift planets they conjoin or aspect. Venus in the 3rd house, Taurus, its own sign, when aspected by Jupiter from the 7th or conjoined with Mercury, 4th and 7th lord, enhances creativity and communication, affectionate sibling bonds, and poetic expression. As Venus rules the 3rd and 8th houses for Pisces, its placement needs refinement, but Jupiter's aspect or Mercury's support transforms Venus into an agent of transformational, artistic power. Number 3. Natural malefics enhance undesirable indications in houses they occupy or aspect, unless they own them. Saturn in the 11th house, Capricorn, though strong in own sign, may delay gains, restrict friendships, or bring rigid social filters. As Saturn owns the 11th and 12th houses for Pisces, it has a complex karmic role, offering long-term fulfillment only after service, discipline, and structured work. Saturn's aspect to the 8th house can activate sudden karmic trials or changes in financial backing unless Venus is supportive. 4. Natural malefics afflict planets they conjoin or aspect. Mars in the second house, Aries, its mulatricona, can cause forceful speech and strain family karma if it aspects the moon in the 8th house, Libra. Despite Mars owning the 2nd and 9th houses for Pisces and being functionally benefic, its natural aggression can still disturb softer planets unless aspected by Jupiter or pacified through Mercury in the 4th or Venus in the 3rd. Mars must be watched closely when influencing family wealth and tone. Number 5. Natural significators uplift their related domains when aspecting or occupying, except in sensitive placements. Mars in the 3rd house, Taurus, gives assertiveness but may create verbal aggression or difficulty with siblings unless benefics like Venus conjoin or aspect. Waning moon in the 4th house, Gemini, causes restlessness or emotional insecurity related to the mother or home, especially if Mercury is combust or in the 12th. Jupiter in the 5th house, Cancer exalted, brings divine intelligence, creative success, and well-nurtured children, but may also cause over-idealization in romance unless Venus is maturely placed. Venus in the 7th house, Virgo, debilitated, may cause unrealistic expectations in relationships or over-sacrificing behavior, especially if Moon is also weak. Jupiter's aspect can rescue this. Sun in the 9th house, Scorpio, gives focus and leadership in Dharma, but also power struggles with gurus or ideological rigidity unless supported by Mars or Moon. Jupiter in the 11th house, Capricorn, debilitated, provides philosophical gains but may lead to impractical friendships or struggles with consistent income unless Saturn is strong and Mercury is active. Pisces rising needs careful balance between dream and discipline. Jupiter is the Lagna and 10th lord, hence central to life's evolution and purpose. Its strength and placement largely determine the moral, career, and health framework of the native. Venus and Mercury shape relationships and the mind. Both must be strong for smooth interaction between idealism and practicality. Mars brings power and dharma when placed in the 9th or 2nd with strength. Saturn's influence, though karmic, helps in long-term fulfillment if understood through the lens of sacrifice and detached service. Benefics and Kendras, especially Jupiter in 1st or 4th, uplift the soul-driven journey of Pisces natives across lifetimes.